Hello, I am Simulator Dirk and welcome back to Train Simulator. Today we are on a new service, a Grand Central service that is in trial operations mode. This is a class 180 and we are going to open the doors. Oh, there's a HST over there. So we're waiting for the HSC to depart. Welcome to episode 69, nice, of Simulator Dirk Train Simulator. As we wait for the HSC to pass us by, we'll get the signal shortly. And we're on a test, we're in a testing mode. We're testing out this new service, this new 180 class. It's new to me anyway. Passengers are on board. When the signal ahead has cleared, proceed to King's Cross, stopping for diagnoses at Stevenage. So we're going to have some engineers come on board, do some tests, and that will be the next section. So fairly standard looking cab. Okay, we've got the signal, a little bit of horn. So this is just going to be flat out running. .30-mile-an-hour section to begin with. .105 section coming up. Alright, here we go. Let's open her up. Wait till we get to the next signal just to confirm that we've got a green. Alright, let's open her up now. Signal into view. There's our happy noise. So our diesel electric 180 class cab view. Oh, it hasn't recognised. Hasn't recognised my input quick enough for the driver safety system, so I am going into an emergency. Let's see if Stranger puts it into neutral though. Let's have a look at the cab. All right, let's start again. That sounds awesome. Oh, it's changed to green now. So let's go. We've got 125 mile an hour zone coming up. Whistleboard, so I horned. I don't know what that noise was. So we'll just shut off for the minute. Not quite into the 125 zone. Warning board, whistleboard. Whistleboard rather. Level crossing. That's what the other noise was, the level crossing. 125 mile an hour zone. Let's kick her in. Let's get her done. So we're almost at 125 miles an hour. It seems so quick, but it also seems so slow as well. You got no visual reference points of anything else moving because you're just going through farmland at the moment. So this is pretty close. It'll be pretty close to 200 kilometres an hour once I get it up to top speed of 125 miles an hour. Never driven a train that fast. Should push it up to the 125 again. Now we're right on 125 miles an hour as we go through the station. Okay, just while we are having a chat, I've just been looking up Grand Central because it wasn't an operator that I was familiar with. Grand Central is an open access train operating company in the United Kingdom owned by Arriva UK Trains. It has operated passenger rail services on the East Coast mainland from Sunderland to London's King's Cross since December 2007 and from Bradford Interchange to London King's Cross since May 2010. A service from London Euston to Blackpool North via the West Coast Main Line was scheduled to begin in 2021 but was cancelled as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So they have ten of these Class 180 Adelantes in their fleet. They service 15 stations. So they're an open access operator, and they have their agreement until at least December 2026 at this stage. So they did halt all services during COVID-19 from April 2020, resuming operations in July 2020. It again suspended services in November and December 2020, and they're now suspended again from January to March 2021 at this stage. So due to COVID, they decided to suspend services because it was obviously financially better off not to run the services, especially with lockdowns and everything else. So they connect Yorkshire and the North East to London with 2 routes. There's 5 daily services on the North East to London route between Sunderland and London King's Cross. And that's the North Eastern service. and there's 4 daily services on the Yorkshire route between Bradford Interchange and London King's Cross, known as the West Yorkshire service. They did have plans for extra services, but some of them were rejected for various reasons. So they've had an interesting history. They did run some HSTs previously before they got their Class 180s as they have now. So there's a bit of an education from Wikipedia. Yeah. Certainly feels good going past these stations at high speed. Let's have a look at the passenger carriages, can we? Please do not leave something parcels unattended anywhere on the station. Any unattended articles are likely to be removed without warning. This is a Grand Central service. That's interesting. So this is coach D. GrandCentralRail.com. Please do not leave cases. Do not leave cases or parcels unattended anywhere on the station. Any unattended articles are likely to be removed without warning. So there's a good view of our train. See if we can zoom out a little bit. We can't. A good front-on view with old mate. Hello, old mate. In his high vis. Some engineers are waiting at Stevenage Platform 2. They want to check a few things before they continue the journey to King's Cross. Over. Roger that. So we have to stop at Stevenage in 8 miles. So we've still got 5 miles to go, so we will crank it up. There's no speed zone changes within sight. we've got some yellow in that signal. Let's shut her down. Not an emergency. We're going to be able to pull up before this signal. Did we brake too late? I think we may have. Looks to be a little bit of yellow in that signal, thankfully. So we are coming into Stevenage. Good brakes. That's why it's important. As soon as you see some yellow in those signals, to slow right down. Destination coming into view now. Coming in nicely. Here's our engineering friends. All right, so that should be the end of this scenario. Well done, driver. While you're waiting for the engineers to perform their checks, why don't you take a look at the statistics so far? Yeah, rightio. Okay, so that is the end of that scenario. They don't congratulate you like this in the real world. Alright, so we'll do the end of this, we'll do the rest of this scenario. 30 minutes to London King's Cross. Alright, so here we are again. All checks are complete. Everything appears to be in order. You may proceed to London King's Cross where you will make your final passenger pickup. There is a train running ahead, so watch out for yellow and red signals. That actually didn't take too long to load in. I was a little bit surprised. I thought it would have taken a bit longer than that. I was trying to play a tune, but it didn't really work. So they must have taken this. So when we arrived and we pulled into the platform, that had a green signal. So I'm not going to rush out of here. I don't know the road. The engineers have said that it's all good. In reality, the engineers would have been on the train from the word go. And they would have known that it was all good. So we are taking it easy. Okay, a little bit of yellow still in that signal. Sometimes it's just better just to hang back. It's better just to hang back and, you know, I could go 125 miles an hour at this point, but there's no real point because we're behind signals and I can see a little bit more yellow coming up. You know, 40 miles an hour is nothing to be sneezed at still. But by hanging back this little bit, allows the train ahead to get more distance on us. Now I don't know what the other train ahead of me is, and I don't know what it's doing. And it's probably not doing what I'm doing, an empty run to King's Cross. It's probably not doing that. So this could well be situation normal. Okay, the sunflower's gone out. Signal ahead is clear. So now we'll crank it up. But of course we won't be surprised if the next signal causes the sunflower. That's the yellow light on the right hand side that comes up when you're at a signal that isn't green. I won't be surprised if the next one isn't green either. As I said, it depends on what the train ahead of us is doing. But also what we need to remember is that we're still got to get up to full speed ourselves. So nice long tunnel. So we're coming up to our 115 mile an hour limit, going back onto the fast line shortly. There's lots of little intermediate waypoints on our screen below us. In reality, I've got no idea how far away we are from King's Cross. I don't recognise any of this. It's been a long time since I've been overseas for one reason or another. It's early February 2022 as I'm recording, and I haven't been overseas since 2014. Such a long time ago now. So I've applied 60% power. We're fairly level in our track. Our track's fairly level. So just keeping a little bit of momentum up. Time winner's penalty. Must have been far off. Is that a little bit of yellow I see? No, it just changed, so I'm just seeing a fair few HSTs. Like, I know that I'm catching the train ahead because I saw a little bit of yellow, but the signal changed while I was on the way there. Speed zone change coming up for 100 miles an hour. There's a little bit of yellow there. So I'll start to slow down. Plus we've got a speed limit change coming anyway on the other side of Potter's Bar, our next platform. So we'll just keep reducing our speed. We'll see what this next signal is going to be. It's double yellow as well. So we'll just coast now. So if it's a single yellow, we'll have to brake more. If it's a double yellow, we'll just keep going how we are going. So we're just idling. Seems a rather low idle for a diesel railcar unit at 300 RPM. Ones I have experience in idle at about 800 RPM. I see some green. There we go, that's all we needed. So we'll increase speed a little bit. Now if we get another green here, well, we'll know that we're good. Because we dropped our speed, that gave the train ahead of us an opportunity to get further away from us. It could have turned out somewhere. Because I don't know the road. So many different scenarios. Because I don't know the road. Now, if there was no way for the train ahead to turn out anywhere, well, I'd know that I was simply catching up to the train, and now I've reduced speed. I've increased my distance away from it. But because there's so many turnout opportunities here, the important thing on a trip like this, I just don't want to stop if I can avoid it. So we're right on our limit of 100 miles an hour. Alexandria Palace. See, our speed is reducing a little bit because we're just at idle. Change of speed limit coming up, and I can see some yellow in that signal anyway, which has just turned to green. So this is a good speed for us to be at. I need to accelerate for a bit. And the closer we get to King's Cross, the busier it'll be anyway. Alright, Finsbury Park, so we're getting close. I can see, now I could see the yellow change to green, but when I went over the warning device it was still yellow, so that's why the sunflower was still up. And the same thing happened there. Because the warning loop starts a little bit before the signal. The buoys that you run over, and it detects what the signal's showing, and then it changes slightly after you run over it. More yellow here, just about to run over the buoys. That's just changed to green. Now there's no actual buoys at the signal, so the sunflower on the right hand side of the screen doesn't disappear. King's Cross in about 2 miles, so no need to get excited. So it has turned to green, that won't. So the speed will start to reduce as we get closer to King's Cross. No use trying to chase the speedboards at this point. When you're unrestricted signals, the timetable goes out the window. Although we do have a green signal for the moment in front of us. Not expecting that to last long. So we've got a 45 mile an hour speed sign just after the next signal. So go signal, 45, signal, 15, signal, platform. So I'm going to start to brake for the 15, there's a 45. Got yellow signals coming up as you'd expect. So we're going on to platform 5. Going to slow right down for the 15. So we're at 17 at the moment. We can bring that down pretty easily from this point. There's a 15 board. Got one more signal to go. Got the signal onto platform 5. Low speed approach. I've got plenty of platform to play with. It's a long platform. Looks like our engineering buddies are waiting for us at the end of the platform. So train spotter probably waving at us. Hey mate. And that will do us nicely. We have arrived. We have arrived. Next one, run drive of this trial has been a great success. While the engineers perform their checks, let us review these statistics. So in other words, scenario over. Episode over. Thank you for watching Simulated Irk, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.